Let's bring out our next speaker. Her name is Ania Halama.
Do not forget your worth, and do not forget that your happiness comes first. That intro always makes me so happy. It's so fun. Like, I've been really playing with the energy of play recently, and that just makes me so happy and so playful. So welcome to another episode of Spirituality for Badass Babes. My name is Ania Halama, and I am your host. A lot of stuff has been going on in the universe lately. I feel like with all of the conjunctions, all of the lunar stuff, all of the astrological things, just life in general with, we all know the whole COVID thing, the war in Ukraine, bless everyone's hearts, just a lot of dense energy. But I feel like we're starting to slowly come out of that dense energy. We've been so cooped up for so long. Like, those were our lows, and sometimes we need to experience those lows as humans. We need to give into those dark moments of the souls, give into the uncomfort, so that what blossoms from that, we're also in the springtime now. So spring is all about blossoming, rebirth, allowing new beauty and new flow to come into your life. So now we're starting to see these manifestations come at you like a brick of wall. I know for my personal self, and I've talked to many spiritual leaders that have been telling me this recently. It's just, we had a really dark, let's say October, November, December, January, February, even a lot of spiritual people had like demonic attacks, like very hard, dense energy. We needed to go through that so that we can start quantum leaping into the life that we desire. Me personally, over the last 2 months, I quantum leaped 4 timelines. Like, the stuff that's been going on in my life right now is incredible. And I'm so grateful and so blessed to allow that flow of energy, the beauty, the fun, that playfulness that I was saying as well, in order for this magic to start happening. Like, right now, I'm actually in Miami. I want to show you guys this beautiful view. Like, just stunning of what is possible. But what is possible is that you need to allow yourself to surrender and allow yourself to go into those moments of uncomfortable and come out in a way that's playful, that's loving, that's manifesting so much beauty into your life. And with that, I would love to introduce our guest today, because she is all about finding that play, that pleasure, that purpose, and that prosperity as well. Because once you tap into those energies, the prosperity will come flowing to you. This is what it's all about. We need to tap into those higher vibrations. So I'd like to introduce Sara Morell. And Sarah is a dear friend of mine. Her and I actually met at a plant medicine retreat, and just one goddess energy felt another goddess energy. And then we danced around the fire. She gives one of the best hugs, like, ever. We just instantly connected. She's a beautiful, beautiful soul, and one of my dear friends. So Sarah Morell's life wasn't always sharing these beautiful lightness. She had a lot of darkness in her life as well, and I'm sure we'll touch a little bit on that today. But she's dedicated to sharing ancient secrets and cutting edge sciences used in her own experiences, which have helped her become a master manifestor, tapping into that play and joy. She now activates others seeking their path and their empowerment. She is deeply connected to her intuitive powers and shares these potent channels, messages, which have transformed many people's lives. She owns multiple businesses. She has a nonprofit as well. She's traveled to more than 50 countries. She's learned with shamans and master healers. This woman is absolutely freaking incredible. So I would love to bring out Sarah. Hello, beautiful soul. How are you doing? Where in the world are you? Let's start with that.
Yeah, in the current moment, I'm in Austin, Texas. I just got back from India, Nepal, Dubai, and Oman.
Whew, you're going to have to tell me all about those. Quite the trip, quite the trip. So my first question for you is like, how did all of this start? Let's talk a little bit about your background, because I know I briefly mentioned all of this and I said, now you're this beautiful manifesting queen, manifesting desires left and right, but you weren't always that person. Similar to myself and the book that I wrote, I've 20 years ago, 15 years ago, I wasn't the same person as I am now. And you owe it all to God and to the divine. And it's so beautiful. So I'd love to hear that journey and that story of where you were to where you are.
I'm just going to start how I normally start and just invite everyone who is watching now or might watch later to close their eyes for just a minute. Breathe in this miracle that we are alive. Breathing in through our nose and out of our mouth. Knowing and remembering that all that is shared here today is not just a miracle that we've experienced, but it's a miracle that we all can experience together. And that you are infinitely loved. One last deep breath in the sacredness of air itself and of this life. So I actually almost canceled this interview multiple times because I spent last night crying and this morning crying. And I thought to myself, as someone who speaks so avidly about play and pleasure and saying thank you even in the hard moments, this is the moment where you hold the flip side. As someone who's going through really difficult moments, you don't get to take a back seat. And what all of the people need to see and hear is that vulnerability. Is that even in those dark moments, we can show up and still be true to who we are. We can still be the wisdom sharer. We can still be all of those other parts of ourselves, that just because we might not be fully in the expression that we desire doesn't mean that we're less than, or unlovable, or unworthy. So just inviting anyone else who might see this and think, well, there's aspects of myself that are showing up that don't look like that thing that I desire, that it's all perfectly in place. It's all perfectly perfect. So I'm really grateful that you're holding this space. I'm grateful that you're showing the world what it looks like to be spiritually a badass. And in this moment, putting myself off the floor and in front of this chair and with you, as humble as possible, just saying thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your truth and your vulnerability as well. And this is something that I love bringing to this show and my podcast, and something that I talk about so deeply as well. Yes, we have those hard moments. Like I was saying, every single spiritual entrepreneur that I know had a very hard time from December till about February. Mine was, or October to about February. Mine was October, November. I had a really difficult time. There was this one day I was in Mexico. I was in my hotel and I just had such a dark, dark night of the soul. I cried all day in Mexico with a beach 2 minutes away from where I was staying. And I just sobbed and I sobbed, and that's okay, because that's what I needed for that exact moment. And we need to remember to check in with ourselves, because it's so beautiful to see this happy-go-lucky, beautiful, light shining beauty all the time, but that's not reality. Social media isn't reality. Check in with yourself, check in with your feelings, how you are feeling, how you go about doing things. What is your energy like? Sometimes your energy might just be low and you can say no to things. Check in with yourself, be vulnerable, be you. So thank you for showing up and speaking your truth as well.
Yeah. One of the pieces of advice I heard, I don't know, maybe a year ago, was talking about holding the flip side. Like, so when you're quantum leaping, the definition of a quantum leap, right, is you're facing the thing you're really afraid of. Like, there's no perfect time to do a quantum leap. But in order to do it, you have to act as if. So if you have this goal that you want to be this person, you have to act as if now. And that comes in these very moments. So holding the flip side of, well, I want to be this entrepreneur. I want to be this person who helps other women to stand up, to use their voice, to live prosperous through play. Then that means, okay, there's no like timeout, right? Like, yeah, take the time when you need it, but do I really desire? Well, if I acted as if the woman I seek to be, it means in this very moment I show up fully and vulnerable. So yeah, so here I am, so grateful to you, so humbled. And that's probably like the key of what I'm going to weave throughout today's call. I'm going to give some ancient secrets. I'm going to give some of my favorite codes. I'm going to share codes and transmissions that have inspired my life and whatever divine essence wants to pour through. But what feels really present on my heart is humbleness and loving like God. Which is just really this hard to even conceive in the way that it happens. But I just say the word humble, and then would this action be? And if so, for example, if I want to go do this one thing and I say the word humble, and then my perspective changes, that means it's the ego who is tricking me. And how good. So this is in my excelling. Like this last year and a half, like I never went from being on stage to being on stage with some really huge speakers. When you reach that, what comes up quickly is ego. And the ego is there to protect you. Its ego is there so that you can keep that throne, that stage, that place. And it's so crafty that it'll feel like love or it'll look like love. But the key that like in the last 24 hours of what I've really discovered is that when you just the word humble, oh shit, that wasn't love. That was me protecting myself. So just humble. And when you come from that place of humble and in this essence, in the center of love, unconditional love, is it okay to cuss on here?
Yes.
Okay. You can't like on that journey with you, the vision that I, received the last time I was there was being at the center of 3 dots. And we could say those 3 dots are all sorts of things: the Heavenly Father, the Holy Spirit, Yeshua, whatever you want, the dots of, my Ryan's belt, my son. But it was to be in the center of the triangle of love. And if you come from love, like we hear this, but I really get it, like really, really get it. You can't penetrate you, because say something doesn't happen the way you like it, but you knew you had such sovereignty and humbleness with the choices that you made. There's no guilt or shame to be had. I did my best. I was in such integrity, which I love this word, integrity. Yeah, like, are you in integrity? When the door closes and no one's seeing you on in camera, are you in integrity? Like, these are the things that I really thought I was living by and even convincing myself of in this whole expansion. Like, 2 years ago, I chose to graduate, leave my marriage. I had nothing. And I was facing losing my kids for stories that weren't true. I thought I had really just thought I was going to lose it all, did lose it all, was on my, what we call the meat hook moment. And then all of a sudden miracles came in. God came in like this knight in shining armor. And
He
then
always does.
Yep. And then the mechanism of ego came in. Can't lose this. Can't lose this. I'm stable. I'm happy. I'm not on the floor crying anymore. Oh my gosh, I'm living. Can't lose this. Ego, protection. And it looked like humbleness. And I was just tricking myself. So that's probably like the weaved in through this is like really loving like God and just checking yourself on that action, integrity and the humbleness.
Integrity and humbleness. I love that. I was just doing a call with one of my mentors, and we were talking about the ego and the heart, and the heart chakra obviously being the love, being the heart. But then your ego is actually on the opposite side of you. So if you're asking yourself, like making decisions, like depending on how you can either contract or expand. If you're expanding, it's your heart. If you're contracting, it's coming from your ego. So similar to that, like add both of these techniques together. Like see how you're contracting and then stay humble and see what comes up for you. But with that note, we do actually have a little video of you talking about all about the art of welcoming emotions. I think this would be really beautiful to play right now, talking about the emotions, the humbleness, the integrity, the beauty.
I want to talk to you today about something called the art of welcoming. And you use this as a practice or a tool whenever you're feeling an emotion that you're not liking, as what you would call a negative emotion. Now, this actually has 2 different steps to it, and the more you do this, the better you get at it. My mentor, Vicki Hannah-Lynn, always says you're practicing something. So what are you practicing? And in this, it would be the art of welcoming, and it's just like going to the gym. The more you do it, the more you build this muscle, and it becomes easier and easier and easier. So the art of welcoming is actually taking an unwanted emotion and welcoming that emotion, not just accepting it and seeing it, but actually saying you're welcome here. And when you do this, it puts you into the state of flow. Normally we're in the state of resistance, which suppresses the emotion and then becomes a trigger later on in life. And it doesn't really fully allow you to tap into your highest potential. When you do the practice of welcoming, you're taking away the wind to the sail of the emotion. It just comes through and goes out. So to make this video short, I'm gonna give it to you pretty quickly. Step number 1 is to be in the practice physically of welcoming, which some say you can actually put your hands out to your side, like you're gonna give it a hug. And then just welcome it. I welcome you, fear. I welcome you, anger. And that emotion is not me, but it is flowing through me. And then step 2 is to see it from the eyes of awareness. So when you're in the eyes of awareness, you're not attached to that emotion anymore. You're not that emotion. It's like you're the viewer of the whole movie, not just this small moment. And you try to stay in the eyes of awareness as much as possible, but if you can build up a few times a day at 5 minutes, you're just gonna start noticing more and more and more how that is a story in your head, the emotion. It's not actually what's going on. It's something that your mind is doing. And the mind only has 3 jobs, and that is to compare something and to describe it. And when it's doing that with an emotion, it's not really helping you to get to your highest state. It's making it so small, like the moment that has arisen is actually much greater in the essence of your growth and what you can do with it. So put your arms out, welcome that emotion. That's the first step. Just welcome it and watch how it just flows through you. Just flows through you. I'm not angry. I'm feeling the feelings of anger. And then the second part is just to sit and just be aware of it. And I can add that third practice of how can you shift it once you've accepted and welcomed it? You know, obviously no negative thing is really true. It's an attachment you have to it. So how could you shift something that seems like a hurdle in your life to a gift, wherein it can find the growth and the positivity for that moment? I hope this has helped. If you have a practice that you're doing to help you shift your feelings of being trapped in emotion, please add to the comments any way that we can to help other people. I'm super stoked about. As you guys know, I love helping others transform their lives like I have. And special thanks to Susie Batiz for this shirt. Alive as shit. Actually, I have some mung bean soup on there. Thanks, Dr. Naram. Amazing recipe if you guys want that recipe to heal your life. Susie is someone, if you guys aren't following, who has helped really inspire my life. She is the founder of Poopery Spray, 600 million a year and growing, and helps other women transform their lives. So wake up, get alive, live your best life. Thanks guys for listening. Ciao.
It's so interesting, just since I recorded that, how I think that was like a year ago, the level that has played into my life. So that I live by. The law of fearless faith, non-resistance, and love. Fearless faith, non-resistance, and love. Essentially, that's what the welcoming is. Since then, I've learned another tool. Thank you. Thank you. So even all these moments, thank you.
Thank you.
The word itself helps it just out instead of becoming lodged and stuck. So in the shaman world, everything's based off of patterns of childhood that just keeps replaying and replaying and replaying until we get to the point of thank you. We allow it. We don't resist it. We see it. We love it. We rock it like a baby. We feel complete. And then we actually affirm what this obstacle, which means opportunity, actually is for us. What is it? You know, you can affirm, okay, I feel it. Welcome here. Oh, that's what this is about. That's what this is about. And sometimes you just have to keep repeating it.
Beautiful. Do you know Ho'oponopono at all? It's similar. They use 4 phrases. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love those 4 combination. You could say it in any combination. Just, I love you. I love you, self. I love you, Sarah. I love you, everyone watching this. Please forgive me. Please forgive me if I've ever thought anything bad, said anything bad, heard anything bad. Thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. So good.
So good.
And love you. And I love you. Finishing with I love you.
I love you.
I love that. And when you add it with some breath work, simple breath work, so Ho'oponopono is 7 seconds. So doing like a 7-second in, holding for 7 seconds, and out for 7 seconds. So beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you, thank you.
You asked at the beginning of this about my story, and I just immediately went into like what I needed to voice. And
beautiful.
So I'd love just quickly, because I know time and there's all sorts of things I want to exchange, but I think it's important so that people can really understand that it doesn't matter where you are, anything's possible for your life. So I was classified disabled by the age of 17. I was told that I would never work told I would never work, facing disability, laying in my own vomit, unable to yell for help. I was in so much pain. I had depression. I had low energy. I of course, then went to substances, drugs, and abuse. I started methamphetamines when I was 13 years old. I've had my house raided twice. I've had been in drive-by shootings. I've been in a high-speed chase with police in the car. I've had bullets come just feet away from me. I've watched my friend die from a gunshot wound. I illegally, at the age of 17, started exotic dancing. I thought my only worth was from my body. And I spent years torturing my unlovability and finding partners that would play out that same pattern that I just spoke of. And it honestly wasn't until about 2 years ago, after leaving, I had, picked somebody who was going to repeat that belief, that internal belief. My husband was this expression of how I really felt about myself inside, unlovable. And about 2 years ago, when I had nothing, I went from owning multiple homes and cars and fanciness and all these things and massive money in the bank and whatever to nothing. He sold my car while I was putting the kids to sleep and shut off my phone and cut financial resources. Yes. And I still left. So this is to all the women. Like, I don't have family in the state. I walked out and I said, God, give me
Help
a sign.
me.
Yeah. And
Help
while I was
me.
praying, God, while I was praying, he sold my car. I got out of putting the kids to bed. My car was sold. I was like, okay, that's a sign. So I was like, God, you got to catch me. You got to catch me right now. I walked out. There was a car within minutes. Somebody within minutes was like, hey, I have a house for you. There was an Airbnb house, all yours. I figured out a way to get the PayPal. Somebody else turned the phone on. And that's what this 2 years has been. So I didn't have a choice. I used to put other people on stage. I didn't have a choice anymore. I had to own my dharma. I wasn't going to survive with my kids. He shut down my ability to even work my business. I couldn't even get access to my things. We went through 12 hearings, $120,000 plus in lawyer fees. So talk about dark night of the soul. And every moment that came, God was like, are you going to get it now? And I'm like, why have you forsaken me? Like, why is it not working? And I'm not religious. I'm just very spiritual. Even as you can see, I don't know. Wait, wrong way. Oh, geez, we're opposite here. See those flowers? And then there's like another thing. How can I do it this way? Other flowers, yes. More flowers.
Yes.
God, I've had 3 bouquets and flowers in the last 24 hours, and then a crystal ball with a flower, and it all from what I tell you is from God, from all different people sending me love right now because I needed it. And that's what these 12 years, or these 2 years and these 12 hearings. And the last hearing, I started laughing. Oh, I get it. It's about fearless faith, non-resistance.
I get it.
And love. I get it. And the more that we lean into that, so somewhere along that line, just I launched my coaching practice. I started helping women, even though I had nothing. I knew what I knew about manifesting your dream life, 50 plus countries, going from classified disabled to multiple investments. I've had my nonprofit 10 years, which now co-created and co-funds an entire school of for impoverished children in Medellin, Colombia, all by play. All of this play.
Yes.
Singing,
yes.
Yeah. And so every time God would just say, are you, like I was facing the most unbelievable things. And at the last second, this angel would show up in this miracle. And that's where even in the moment of it right now, and another moment of all these miracles and angels showing up in the hardest of moments is the opportunity. So if anybody's watching us and they're sick, they're scared, they're poor, they think, they have imposter syndrome. They think they're unlovable. Like I'm here to tell you and show you that it's completely possible for you through the laws of fearless faith, love, and non-resistance, and leaning into divinity.
Leaning into divinity, trusting the divinity. God will never steer you wrong. The universe will never steer you wrong. And it's so beautiful when you surrender that, when you go through that dark night of the soul, because we all do sometimes, but when you surrender to it and trust that divinity, the kind of magic that comes into your life. Like my last 2 months, have been pure magic. I don't even know how the things are happening. Like sometimes when I repeat the words that something's had happened, I'm like, I don't believe it myself. Like, how is this possible? It's just pure magic and so much gratitude. Thank you. So much gratitude for all of that. I love the person that you have become. You're such a beautiful and light soul, and you needed to go through those dark moments as well, just as I did, just as everyone else, in order to fully step into your dharma and fully become the person that you've become.
Absolutely. And a big thing that got me there was Dr. Clint Rogers and Dr. Naram. And it's actually Dr. Naram's birthday today. And I'm wearing, this is a little token from Dr. Naram and Dr. Clint. That's some of the ancient secrets. When it's the right time, I'll share with you guys. But they were a big pivotal, it's called Siddha Veda, reason that I have made it through that divorce, seeing God in everything, through that practice, that lineage. So of course, finding your community is really important.
Yes, and it's beautiful when you do find that community. So let's go into ancient teachings, ancient medicines, ancient wisdom, because you just came from this felt like month-long trip, few months. I don't know how long you were exactly there, all over Nepal, India. You went to Holi. Like, so many beautiful things have happened, and I was watching you the entire time. It's beautiful. So let's share about some of these things that came into your life and what you learned there. Like, that's an incredible trip that I would love to do.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard to articulate when you're witnessing miracles so much. I often, you know, you've heard that question about if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Mine would be touching people, and that they would know what I know. That they could see, yeah, this is like surprise look at Sarah. And they would know what I know. And speaking of this is pulse reading. And what's so fascinating about this very moment, oh, tears are coming to my eye. Thank you, Dr. Naram and Clint. Moments before this, I felt a pregnant woman's pulse, and I could feel the baby's pulse and her pulse. And you can know if you're having a boy or a girl based off of where you feel that pulse.
Wow.
Our masters can feel a pulse and know if you have heartbreak when you were 5. They know if a part of your spine and which part of your spine is off. They know if you get hot at night or if you shouldn't be eating apples. They know if you're dying of cancer. They can feel it all within the pulse. In this lineage, they take the blind and can help them to see. People in wheelchairs have been known to walk. People who have autism cured, cancer cured. It's the most incredible, humbling experience lineage that I've ever witnessed or been a part of. And I went to school for nutritional therapy. I studied holistic health for 15 years, and I still wasn't fully well. And right before I left my marriage, I was getting so sick, as you can imagine. And Siddhaveda, 80% of all illness and disorder comes from emotion, stuck emotion, which is what I'm practicing here, which I'm talking about, Siddhaveda. And so I was really sick, and a very good friend of mine, Daniel, connected me with Dr. Naram. And I had one appointment, and he cured something with my ears that no doctor's ever been able to cure. So naturally, I became obsessed and like stalking. What is this lineage? Who are these people? And lover Clint Rogers got on the call almost immediately just to help me with my line. I have a product line, and just gave such service. And the minute I heard his voice, I lost the breath in my lungs and sat down in awe, like, wow, there's some sort of soul karmic thing here. And I knew it. And from that moment on, I've been a part of these Sunday Global Healing calls. I took some of the courses. I'm in the 3-year program right now, and I've been on stage with them speaking and sharing these secrets. I've been with them as we've pressed these ancient Marma points. So I know from my personal experience and from the experience of how many of my clients have been affected by these ancient secrets and what I've seen just even in the global calls. Siddhaveda is a 2,500-year-old lineage that's a form of healing, a school of thought, if you would. It's like Ayurvedic, but on a deeper level, that is an unbroken lineage passed down from master to student all the way from Jivaka, who is Buddha's healer. And essentially, Jivaka discovered that what could be medicine for me could be poison for you, and how different our bodies are based upon our dosha and what might be out of alignment. So these have been passed down all these years and now are shared across the world. And it's one of the big things. I mean, first of all, on the physical level, anything and everything you want to heal. My energy levels through the roof. My hormones are now perfect. I have no more menstruation issues. My son had high level ADHD, nothing anymore. My clients have lost one alone lost 80 pounds. People have cured Hashimoto's in 30 days. Like, you name it, it's possible. But this essence and mindset of Aditi Devil Bhava, of see the God in everything. So even in this moment that I'm in right now, it's like, see the God in it all, see the divinity in it all. And I remember the last hearing I had, I was up in the stand looking around with my ex-husband. And I just imagined that they were my little white bunnies, because to me, a white bunny is being Jesus's pet. Like, I came across this Columbia experience that taught me it. They're God in human form. So when you recognize that it's all God in human form, it actually means to treat the unexpected guest as God itself. And that means when your roof is caving in. And I'll tell you what happens when you take all these moments, these tests, which I don't really like, the obstacles, which are actually opportunities, they're strengthening moments. And when you say yes, thank you, money starts falling in the bank account, more clients than you've ever had, miracles, flowers, dates with the divine, which is my favorite thing to do is dating God. Like when you can take the law of non-resistance, that's where the quantum leap happens. Right there in that moment. You want a quantum leap, you'll be tested today. You'll be tested tomorrow. And there is no victimhood in Sarah's world. Like I have been raped. I have been touched multiple times. I like on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And even in my husband, I'm going to tell you, I manifested that. I created it off of my subconscious belief because our subconscious is 95% of our actions. So if I believe I'm unlovable, I'm going to find the partner to prove that. So in the energetics world, we become an energetic match for what's on the inside, right? So the mirror can't smile unless you smile first. You have to act as if now. You have to smile as if now. And that beloved that you want, you better damn well make sure you're that great beloved to yourself and you're being that love like God beloved to everybody in your life, like everyone in your life. I've realized in the last like 24 hours how selfish of a lover I've been, thinking that I was being such a great lover, masked by fear. So just really like, am I loving like God with everyone? My relationship with my children is a reflection about how my relationship with my beloved is going to be. My relationship with the masculine of myself is a relationship I will also see with the way that money is coming in and the beloveds that I have. Like it all plays together. Really, there's no separation in the energetics.
That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing all of that. Yeah, with energetics, like everything is energy. And however we manifest money, however we manifest a partner, however we manifest whatever we want, that it's all the same energy. And yes, we do need to start looking at life from the eyes of God, looking at other people from the eyes of God. Like it is so beautiful. I do want to play a really quick Ancient Secrets video that you have as well. And then I want to talk a little bit about the Marma points.
Yeah, please.
Hey guys, we're going to talk about Marma points today. I'm going to give you one point you can start pushing right now. But before I do, I want to give big credit to Dr. Clint Rogers and Dr. Naram for taking and spending the better majority of either their life or their entire career life teaching this practice of this ancient wisdom. If you have not watched one of my previous videos about Siddha Veda, it is one of the world's most ancient forms of healing, and it comes from an unbroken lineage all the way up to Buddha's healer Jivaka. And this is can only be learned by master to master. So the very first Marma point that we're going to cover in this video is for forgiveness. As we know, any kind of trauma, emotion, or anger causes physical illness. So you find that the more that you use this point, the more that you'll actually notice yourself feeling better, or your neck pain going away, your back pain going away. You wouldn't believe what can start to shift for you. Happiness. So you press this. This is, if you haven't heard of Marma points either, Marma points are kind of similar to what they practice in acupuncture. There's certain specific spots on our body that can help to alleviate pain, or even to align our mind with what it is that we're trying to attract. Or to get clear about what we want. You can use Marma points for so many things. Okay. So the very first one is in between your pointer finger and your thumb, and you press it 6 times. So far, all the trainings that I've had in Marma, it's all in intervals of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, step 2 of this is that you actually visualize the face of the person that you are seeking to send forgiveness to. So you're going to visualize their face, and we can press here, and where you kind of feel the tenderness is where you're going to press. And they say if it's a little farther back, it might be further in your history. A little farther forward, it might be more recent. So again, you're going to do this 6 times. Then you're going to see the face of that person. Personal note, I have experienced with these Marma points that simultaneously I needed to do it for myself. So somewhere in the experience, perhaps I didn't respond to it well. Perhaps I didn't use my voice. Perhaps I took myself somewhere that I felt intuitively that I should not have gone. So it really helps me to also do my own face and press it 6 times. There is a ceremony that they practice in India, and it just passed. It's actually practiced in many parts of the world now. It's spreading around. I don't know if it was originated from there or not. But you do this same practice, and then after you press it 6 times, you'll write the name of the person that you're sending forgiveness to. You place it in the fire, and then I think you can even press this 6 times again. I'll have to look up my training, but I don't think you can press it too much. And then the very next day, you'll celebrate with putting color on your face, red, blue, yellow, throw it everywhere. And you get to eat sweets. That's the best part. I had a ton of honey. And if you can, send the person that you're trying to forgive, or you are forgiving, or you just did forgive, some sweets as well. And watch the miracles occur, watch your pain release, watch your energy increase. If you have not looked already, please go peek in Google at Dr. Naram, Dr. Clint Rogers, or go through my page because they're all over it, and send them some love. As we say in our class, I'm with you and I love you. Thank you, Dr. Clint Rogers and Dr. Naram. It's so fun watching old Sarah.
I'm sure you've quantum leaped so much since then. So that is beautiful. Yeah. So I'm not sure if you're too familiar. I'm certified in EFT tapping, and I love EFT tapping. It's something, it's been one of the biggest catalysts to my own healing, my own growth. Like, I use it on clients similar to you. Like, I have clients that have lost so much weight, attracted their partners, attracted money, and it does similar things. Like, it's like acupuncture. We rewire the brain by these pressure points, but we're using our fingers. Like, you're using like one single point. So it's usually with EFT, it's a cycle of these points that we press on. With Marma points, it's only usually just one, right?
Yeah, so Marma's a little bit different, but it's a similar philosophy. And I want to say, for anybody watching, to me, one of the most powerful things you can do, if you can only take one thing away from this, is your intention. Every time you shift throughout the day, set your intention. As I go to sleep at night, I pray, I say thank you, I set the intention for the next day. When I wake up, before my feet hit that ground, I say, Infinite Holy Spirit, use me. Let me see unlimited miracles, live in a wondrous state, abundance, uncontrollable laughter, and high pleasurable love. Like, I'm setting the intention. So anytime 2 people or 1 person come together and they make the intention for something, that's like tapping. Like, you are setting into your compass, your internal field, to point towards that direction. So I think even Dr. Naram, I know we have no means no in our country, but I want to let that go for what I'm going to say. He says, no doesn't mean no if you want it bad enough, if your desire is strong enough. Like, so holding the intention for whatever you want to heal, desiring it enough, has a powerful effect. So Marma point, the way we describe it, is like light switches in a room, and you can go in and you can press all over the walls and it won't turn the light on. But you go to where the light switch is and it turns the lights on. Marma removes blocks in our bodies. They wake people up from comas with these Marma points. Children who have autism, calm down, sit down, like start to speak from pressing these Marma points. So they've had over 2 million people who are documented who have used this in their practice and have seen, and now a lot of prestigious colleges are picking this up to show that it really does work. But what you just saw was the forgiveness point. You press it 6 times throughout the day. And actually was I did that. I was there with the orphans in the Himalayan mountains experiencing Holi. And at that last video, I was just dreaming about it. And that was one of my manifestations that came true. I had this light. So you learned about forgiveness. So just making sure, because we have 10 minutes left and I want to get all the juicies in. The what do you want, Marma point. So consistently thinking about, I like to take the word want and replace it with desire. I desire and I shall acquire. And ladies, gentlemen, if you're using that, not using the root chakra, start using the root chakra. When you're saying everything you want in your life, it comes through that area. So really getting turned on by life. So I desire.
I desire.
Yeah. So in that essence, you hold up your right hand. See, I'm backwards here. So you're going to put your right hand up. I actually have the white bunny tattoo, which is a little hard to see because I didn't white. Oh, well, backwards. Ooh. And there's a Marma point. So you're going to take your hand like this. Oh, this is difficult going backwards. Okay. And then you flip it over once. And where that finger lands, oh dear. Okay, mirror effect. How do we do this? And this way. Okay, so yep. So you do this, and then you flip it over exactly one time. Where the last pointer finger ends, right in the center. Now you should feel kind of go up and down just a little, and you'll feel a zing. You'll feel like a little Marma point thing. You're going to think about what do you want? What do you want in your life? Like, I'm calling in a miracle right now. So we're going to close our eyes. Take a deep breath. Think about that thing you desire. And now we're going to hold the vision. Hold the vision, feel it in our heart. So what we can feel in our heart and hold in our mind, we can hold in our hands. And I want you to press it 6 times. And you'll do that 6 times all throughout the day. Okay. Just keep realigning your subconscious towards the what do you want. In the manifesting world, it's similar. So Daniel Raphael, if you listen to this later, I love you. He's teaching me these effects of the universe. And he said, Sarah, the universe is like a waiter. If you come over and the universe says, what do you want? And you're like, well, I was thinking about the egg salad, but it's kind of high calories. So I was going to go with the normal salad. But, you know, what do you think? What is the universe going to do? What is the waiter going to do?
Give you their best option. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Well, they're going to, I'll come back later.
Yeah.
Or give you the accumulation.
I got other things.
Yeah. What you might not want. And then what happens if you make your order and you go back in the kitchen and you keep checking in on it? Is it done yet? Are you sure you're going to cook it? I don't trust you. Like, that cook's going to be
Get out.
Yeah, you're going to delay the cooking, right? So we have to feel it. We don't have to be so clear. We don't need to know the how. We don't need to know the when. We just need to know the why. And it needs to come from love, not ego, or your manifestations will come out with static. And what I want to say in that quantum leap, another way to understand these moments is that when you're changing a radio station, you go through static. It's that uncomfortable, like, I don't want to hear this, but you're changing your frequency. You're all increasingly becoming more enlightened. And the more we align with the divine's plan, the more our frequency will change, but you got to go through the static. It's just strengthening and lifting so you can get to it. So not judging it, just arms out, wings open, and head right to it. Calling
trusting. Yes.
Yeah.
Trusting.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful. So beautiful.
Shame and guilt
Sarah.
are the 2 things that keep you the most stuck from abundance. So just
shame
and guilt. Yeah, about your past.
To go back into the pleasure and the play, because those are the same frequencies as abundance.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much for Sarah. We actually had a question come through saying, I deal with imposter syndrome and it's so ugly. How can I deal with that?
Yeah, so I actually created an entire course around falling in love with yourself because I felt so unlovable. And I didn't create it. The divine created it and downloaded me with all of these different experiences and visualizations and things you need to do. So when we're feeling imposter syndrome, I want you to dig really deep and just get still. So stillness, silence, and solitude are essential. Meditation every day. And also 3 other tips. Thank you, Dr. Round. Presence, play, and seva, being of service. So whenever you're feeling imposter syndrome, I invite you to dig really deep into your life and see where you might be out of integrity. And it's the same thing about falling in love with yourself. Are you saying you're going to be there at 5 and you show up at 6? Are you saying yes when you mean no? Are you not giving yourself the bath? So you have to let your little inner child lead. Let your inner child lead. That little inner child is going to speak their truth. I was in prayer one time and I was like, God, show me what you want me to do. And I heard this question. And one of my friends was speaking at the time. We were co-speaking and I had this question. I was like, no, I can't say that. They're a huge speaker. I can't ask a question right now. And I'm like, God, what do you want me to do? And I hear the question again. I'm like, listen, I got important things right now. God, what do you want me to do? And it's like, ask the question. You want to serve me? You hear the divine lit up questions. You have that thing to say, you say it. So if you're feeling imposter syndrome, no, you're not alone. Even J-Lo admitted that even after 1 million records sold, she still felt like she was going to fake and people were going to find her out. Like, it's a natural thing. But then 2, go to where in your everyday, are you aligned? Are these actions in alignment with your future self? Because if there's somewhere you're not fully being in integrity with your word or integrity with your inner child, you're going to feel like an imposter syndrome, because somewhere there's what we call dissonance in your field. You really want to be in what's resonance, what feels alive. So hopefully that helps.
Beautiful. Ooh, ooh, so good. Yeah, imposter syndromes. Everyone deals with imposter syndromes. Even J-Lo does. Another thing is, yeah, like I was saying, I'm sure there's a Marma point for it, but EFT tapping on imposter syndrome as well. Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's reprogram that mind and be authentically you. Remember, the people look up to authenticity nowadays. Like, we live in a world of social media when everything is fake. So don't worry about what Joe Schmo is going to think. Worry about yourself and be authentically you. The people that are going to be attracted to your energy will be attracted to your energy. And those are the people that matter the most, not anyone else. We have one more final clip to play, and then we can come back and share when we can find you and follow you and any other final thoughts. So we have a really quick shamanic hugs.
Dressed for the occasion.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, so magic. Yeah,
That's so magic.
So magic. Yeah, it just brings my heart so much joy. Sometimes leading retreats, and that's what it was. I brought a bunch of people. Not those clips are from when we all organically got together, but then, as you know, the mountains called, and I brought more people back where I met you.
Yes, exactly. And it's always it was so beautiful seeing that video too, because I'm like, I know that person and I know that person and I know that person. So that's always really nice as well. All right. So is there any other final tips, tricks on life, on pleasure, on play, anything final that you would love to share with everyone?
I think that it comes from devotion, that every day should be lived as a ceremony, as if it's our last breath, reminding ourselves that this moment is such a gift. And that when we treat every day with devotion like a ceremony, that's when the magic and miracles will unfold in front of your eyes. Not wasting a moment, not checking your phone when you wake up immediately, sitting in stillness and silence with God, asking yourself, is this of humbleness? I paint my body, like, I don't know, I paint these gold paints, my left side to be more in my feminine, to remind myself of divinity, devotion. I spent a year being celibate to remind myself that I was worthy and enough alone. So are you making today a ceremony? Are you in devotion and prayer and thankfulness? And are you of service? You want to bring more wealth, health, pleasure, play, everything into your life that you desire? Give it. That of which you desire, go give it. You desire a perfect love, go give a perfect love.
And for that, I thank you so much, Goddess. That was all so beautiful. I honor your energy. I appreciate your wisdoms, your knowledge, everything that came through as well. Where can people find you? Where can they follow you? I know we're gonna have it rolling at the bottom, but I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, at Sarah D. Morell. Actually, thus far, I kind of boycotted any websites or landing pages. I've just been what is the blinded offer. It's God's keeps saying blinded offer. I'm launching a year-long container right now. But Sarah D. Morell on Instagram. That's the place. Simple, easy peasy, SARAD, and then MORELL. And there's lots of videos and how-tos and quotes and fun stories. And you'll see me in mini castles with wizards and master healers and agories and orphans.
Beautiful. You have such a beautiful aura, such a beautiful energy. And it's always lovely to speak to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love you all, and I'm with you.